Hey y'all. Welcome to my video. It looks terrible in this, but this is an actual really good drink. It's a cold brew coffee. It's almost gone. Look at that. It's really easy to make. I just bought some Dunkin' concentrated cold brew. And what I like to do is I like to fill the glass, well, not fill the glass, but line the glass with some caramel syrup and then ice. And then I will add the concentrated cold brew and forget that I need to add water. So by the time I've filled it, I have very little space left for water, creamer, and cold foam. But I attempt to add a little bit of water. Then I add some creamer. Then I add my cold foam. And today I was feeling a little bit of extra, so I added some nutmeg and some cinnamon sugar to the top. And I don't know, it's Thursday. I needed a little pick-me-up. It's not Friday just yet, and it's been a week, and it started last weekend. And it's February, which, blah. The weather has been cold and snowy and blah. And I had my birthday this week and didn't really do much for that. I had some tacos from my favorite taco place, my favorite Mexican restaurant that's like 7 minutes away. And my husband brought that home for me. And so, I don't know. I'm just in a blah mood. Blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I'm just not feeling anything right now. The news is depressing. Things are going on at work that are just troubling to me. And, you know, right now, I'm just not feeling it. That's the honest truth. Not every day can be a good, bright, sunshiny, happy, joyful day. Sometimes you just, it is what it is. And that's my day right now. That's how I'm feeling. But I get to come home to a beautiful home. I have a nice coffee drink that is probably better than what I would have paid $6 or $7 for if I would have bought it somewhere else. And I get to do this beautiful diamond art canvas here. I mean, like, really, what more could I ask for? I actually picked up a Kroger order after work today on the way home and got it unloaded. And I don't know about you, but I've been using ChatGPT quite a bit to help me with my health, my attempt to lose weight. And I guess now that I've had my birthday, I decided before my birthday, I had already started this diet at the beginning of February. And after I started it, maybe a weekend, I was like, oh, you know what? I could call this like losing 50 before 50. Because next year, I turn 50. And I started this basically February 1st, and my birthday is February 18th. And that gives me a year to lose 50 pounds. Now, in all honesty, I'm actually not quite sure I should lose 50 pounds. That might put me at a rather unhealthy weight. But I have weighed that much before. It was probably like when I was in junior high or high school. So that's why I said it's probably not the healthiest goal, But I like the 50 before 50. And, you know, like if I get to a healthy weight and I'm happy with my body, I'm going to consider it a success. I just like the catchy 50 before 50, you know, phrase, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I've been using ChatGPT to like give me all kinds of things, really. It's fascinating to me how helpful it has been, because it's basically like having a conversation with it, and you can just keep going, and it will just keep going, and it will remember. So days later, I can talk about something else that's health related, and it remembers like what I'm doing. Like it remembers what my goals are, what my dietary needs are, what we've already discussed, and it will actually keep those like in mind. It will refer back to them. It's been pretty amazing, I have to say. And you know, if you don't have the money for a personal coach, trainer, dietitian, I think it would be a decent starting point. I mean, obviously, always go talk to your doctor. If anything seems a little bit off, double check it. I mean, this is your health and your life. You know, do all of the things that a responsible grown-up person would do when using AI. But just in general, like I've been chatting with it since I started all of this, and it knows like what types of things I'm trying to avoid in regard to food and what I'm trying to eat more of. And it knows like what my body concerns are and what my body weaknesses are. Like I have a really bad back, and so some of my focus is on different exercises and stretches and things like that that will strengthen my back. So even like today, it had been, gosh, weeks probably since we had like chatted on GPT with each other with my buddy, Mr. ChatGPT. And we were chatting about some recipes and a meal plan and some exercise plans. And it remembered that I had a pool and was suggesting some exercises specific to a pool. And what else? It remembered the back considerations. It remembered some of the dietary preferences I had. It's just amazing to me, technology, and I love to play with it and just see what the limitations are and see how far it's come. As a Gen Xer, you know, like we experienced life before, right? We had life before social media, life before Google. You know, we're older than Google. So it's always just been a thing. I'm always excited to learn new technology, new things, understand how they work. So for me, it's been a lot of fun to play around with it. And I really love how, for like meal planning purposes, maybe I have something I like to make, but I want a healthier version of it, and I want to incorporate certain things into my diet. And you can just keep working with it, and it will offer substitutions, and it will even calculate the nutrition of things. And again, like I said, you might want to double check some of that kind of stuff if you're really concerned about it. For me, I'm pretty good with a guesstimate on some of that kind of stuff, like calories per serving. It's like if it wants to give me a range and a guess, that's good enough for me. I've been in the mood for some bean soup. So I asked it about, hey, would bean soup be something good for my diet? Because I've been doing meal replacement drinks and then one meal a day. And then any snacks I have, I've been trying to keep them healthy, like a whole food snack. And I've also been trying to reduce my dairy intake because I am lactose intolerant, and I think dairy is inflammatory for me. So I've been trying to reduce it and replace it with other things as I shop. And so I was just curious. And so I asked it about, you know, bean soup. Is this something healthy? How would this fit into my diet? And it was like, oh, yes, this would be perfect. And it explains why it would be perfect. And then it offers me this recipe. And the recipe was more of a, I would say, a tomato-based bean soup. And I wanted more of like a white bean soup. And so I just asked it. And of course, it came up with another recipe. And it did give options for if you wanted to add other things like the cream and whatnot. But I liked how it was very focused on what I had already told it in regards to what I needed and wanted. Oh, don't you hate it when you get an invisible diamond and try to place it? I do that all the time. So anyway, I've been making bean soup for, 20 plus years, 30 years now, I guess. Man, I'm getting old. So I've been making bean soup a long time. I don't really need a recipe for it, but I'm trying to be healthier and I wanted to see what's out there and whatever. So all that to say, I am trying a new version of a white bean soup that I've never had before. And it will probably be a little healthier than what I'm used to making, because for the longest time when I made bean soup, and some people may think this is gross, but I would buy the dry beans, I'd soak them overnight, cook them in the crock pot, throw a ham hock in with them, and salt and pepper them, and then I'd serve them with Tabasco and cornbread. To me, that comfort food, delightful, love it. But I'm pretty sure the ham hock, not super healthy. So this new recipe has got 2 different white beans in it. It's got vegetable broth. It has carrots and celery and a little bit of lemon juice. And what else? Instead of adding like cream or milk or anything like that to it, or cheese, it just suggests using like an emulsion blender to kind of like blend up some of the beans to give it a creamier texture, if that's what I wanted. Oh, it's got onion, garlic, I can't remember if that's it or not. It seems like that might be it. Anyway, it's got a lot more healthier items in it than beans, water, maybe some chicken bouillon, and a ham hock, right? I mean, come on. It's true. So I think I'm going to make that tomorrow, especially with my husband not feeling well. I think that'll be a good, hearty, comforting meal. And then I asked it about cornbread, because I like to have cornbread with my bean soup, and I wanted a healthier version. And so it gave me a recipe that used almond flour and gluten-free something or other. I don't know. It was a much healthier gluten-free alternative. And so I think I may make that tomorrow. We'll see if I make it to go with it or not. But just imagine, like, once a week using ChatGPT to either give you a new recipe to try or take an existing recipe that you like and make it healthier. And if there's something in it that you don't like, ask for substitutions and other suggestions until it has all things in it that you think that you would enjoy, right? And then I had it break down the nutritional value of the soup and the bread, so that way I could put that in my my FitnessPal app, and I can just create my own meal, throw in the calorie amount per serving, and then it's there if I make it again. I think the putty stuff is coming off a little bit. I think I see it on this one. So anyway, I've been doing really poorly. I was really on it with my vitamins and feeling great for a couple of weeks, and then, like I said, I've just been blah. And maybe that's part of why I've been blah, is I kind of slid a little bit. I stopped taking my vitamins and had a couple things I probably didn't need to have. But today, I'm back on it. Actually, I was on it yesterday. I took all my vitamins yesterday. Been drinking lots of water. Just need to really need to focus in on getting some exercise in every day. I can share this, I guess. I can't remember when I first saw information about it. It's been probably a month at least, if not more. But there is a true crime cruise coming next year. And as soon as I saw it, since it's around my birthday time, I told my husband, if you want to do something for my 50th, like I've always said I wanted to do an Alaskan whale cruise, but if we, like didn't do that, the other type of cruise that I would be excited to go on would be this true crime cruise. My email every now and then, because you basically sign up, make an account, and then you get put into this group, and they release tickets for people within the groups to order until a certain date, and then they finally release them to the general public. So I keep checking, and today I was just kind of looking at more information about the cruise, like where they stop at, which the Bahamas for one day, and who is going to be on it. And I was excited to see that John Walsh and his son are going to be on it. And like, John Walsh has been consistent in my life since I was a kid, right? Like, again, I'm Gen X, and growing up, I think I was fairly young when his son was murdered, and Code Adam was started up at Walmart, and America's Most Wanted was like a staple show in my house growing up. And now I think his son has kind of like taken on the reins of that and continues it. So I'm very excited to see them slated for the cruise. And then Cece, which I cannot remember her last name, but she does the genealogy DNA detective work to solve cases, cold cases. She had a show on for a while, and it was really good, and I wish that they would have kept going with it. She's going to be there, and man, if I could learn how to do that as a career, as a librarian, it'd be like my dream come true. Like, to be able to sit at home and work on solving cold cases and bringing closure to families. It wouldn't get any better than that. And talk about like a meaningful, worthwhile job. Anyway, she's going to be there. And then there's going to be a lot of podcasters and other people. So I'm really like glued to my email, waiting for them to release tickets so I can jump on that, so we can go on that cruise. And you will be the first, okay, maybe not the first, but you will definitely hear about it if I get to go. That is probably one of the big things I'm really excited about and looking forward to. Oh, and speaking of true crime, today in the news, there was an update to the Fox Hollow murders here in Indiana. And I don't know if it's like a well enough known case that people outside of Indiana would be familiar with it. So my apologies if you're not. If you're into true crime and you're not, go check it out, go look it up. But anyway, this guy who was supposedly the victim that got away, who all these years has had like a certain story about his interactions with this serial killer, now is like changing his story so much. It is so weird and so suspicious. And I have so many questions and so many thoughts, and something's really shady about this. It kind of makes you wonder, like, was he involved in some of the things that happened? Why would he be bringing it up now, all these years later? You know, like, is he just trying to get some attention? Just like, what is going on here? It's very odd. So if you know anything about that case in particular, leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on this guy changing his story. Sorry I can't give more detail because I'm doing this and I can't like read anything off to you. And I have a terrible perimenopausal brain right now where sometimes like I can look at somebody that I've known for 10 years and be like, what's your name? I can't think of it. What are words? I don't know what words are. Brain fog is real when you're my age going through this, and it's not fun. And when they say that you feel like you might have like early onset Alzheimer's, they are not lying. I've said it many times. Like, I really think some days that's what's happening. And my husband's like, no, you don't. You know, you don't. That's my husband voice. He thinks it's funny when I use it. I saw it and immediately sent it to my friend that I used to work with at the library, because her and I used to do a true crime book discussion group at work. And we actually did a book on the Fox Hollow murders. Only the book was kind of different because it was actually like, it talked about the murders, but it was also kind of supernatural, because they had like ghost hunters and they were saying like the house is haunted and had all this stuff like that, all this supernatural stuff. So it had kind of a different twist to what you would normally read in a true crime book, which was kind of nice for a true crime discussion group. A little bit different, and I think we did it in October or around there, abouts, if I remember right. I've slept since then. We no longer have that book discussion group because I got a different job. I don't work for that library system anymore, and we decided to end it. We kind of talked about maybe doing it on our own outside of work, but we just haven't really done anything. because I think that we're both just like blah. Is my guess. You know, it's when it's something you're interested in and then you do it for work, it suddenly becomes a little bit less fun. But I think it could be fun to do it outside of work because we don't have the same type of constraints. And I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning. I've been waking up at 4 o'clock. It kind of sucks. And I just kind of toss and turn. Sometimes I doze back off. I never really get into a good sleep. And then my husband wakes up at 5:30. So even if I did get into a good sleep, he would wake me up. And then I have to be up by 6:15. So when he gets up at 5:30, I wake up and I'm laying there. And then he leaves a little bit before 6. And when he leaves, he comes and kisses me goodbye. Aw. And that wakes me up if I have dozed back off. And then at 6:15, my alarm goes off. So really, yeah, I'm just not... I think maybe that is contributing to my blahness. And I take stuff to help me sleep. But I just think it's been my hormones lately that have been bothering me. And I am taking stuff for that as well. But they have helped my symptoms considerably, but not completely. Last night, my husband and I made a HelloFresh for dinner. We ate, we sat and digested a little bit. And then we went out to the hot tub. And it was snowing while we were in the hot tub, which I couldn't really tell. Like, I knew it was doing something. But then when I got out, I always wear my Crocs out to the hot tub. I went and put my Crocs on and they were full of snow. And my hair was like covered in snow. So yeah, it was really snowing harder than I thought. Check it out. So pretty. So beautiful. And next weekend, on the 28th, I think, I'm going to a concert. So I have a lot of great things to look forward to. It's just this last couple of weeks have really been difficult. And I think part of it is just not knowing what the future holds about certain things, and that can be stressful. And we've had a lot of transitions within the last year in our lives. And they keep coming. They just keep coming. Also, if you're on my Fitness Pal, let me know, and I will comment with either a link or however it is that you can connect to people on my Fitness Pal. It's been a long time since I've used it in that way, but if you want to connect on it, I'd be happy to do that, like for accountability or challenges or whatever. That would be fine with me. Just let me know and we'll figure it out how to get it done. I know I've connected with other people on it before. So I know it's a possibility. All right, so do you prefer when it's alternated and then filled in? Or do you prefer filling in as much as possible all at once? I kind of like the grid pattern like this. And when I did some time-lapse videos, it was pretty cool to watch. It was much more entertaining to watch this type of, I don't know what you call it, filling it in, than it was to just watch like straight across. But maybe that's just me. Beautiful. Have you been watching anything good lately on any platforms? Maybe we can chit chat about that a little bit too. I've been streaming Gossip Girl because back in the day when that was like really popular, I was busy living life and didn't have time. It was not on my radar. I don't know why it wasn't. I can't even remember. I don't even know when it was out. But I am watching it now and I am thoroughly entertained by it. And it's weird because it's Blake, and at the same time there's all this stuff in the media about Blake and that situation. And I guess I never realized that the guy that plays, oh my gosh, Dan, is the same guy who plays the guy on the show You. Joe, is that his name on You? Is that the main character's name, Joe? I never really put that together or knew that until I started watching Gossip Girl. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I know him. I don't feel like he looks like a high schooler in Gossip Girl. I think he looks much older than a high schooler. What do you think? And I also find it interesting, like in Gossip Girl, he's a writer. And in You, isn't he like a writer or something in You too? He's like kind of the same thing, professorish, into literary stuff. It's almost like he could just continue his character from Gossip Girl into You, like him as an adult. Now he's Dan as an adult, but he's also a crazy serial killer. Oh, it's weird. I don't know what I'm going to watch once I'm done with Gossip Girl. There's a lot of shows that are out now that I started, and there are new seasons out that I need to catch up on. Like, I guess Yellow Jackets is out now. I love that show. Severance has a new season. Yeah, I don't know. Some of this stuff my husband wants to watch too, so when I'm doing diamond art, I have to try to find things that he would not care about. And honestly, I was kind of thinking it might be kind of cool to go back and watch all the old X-Files, because I know I watched a bunch of them, but never like from beginning to end. So I'm sure there are a lot that I missed. So that could be fun. I've got all kinds of ideas. It's just really what the people who find this channel enjoy and want to talk about, as long as like it's in my wheelhouse. And I guess one of the good things about being a librarian and having an interest in a lot of different things is that I know a little about a lot of things. There are a few things that I know a lot about, but it's more likely that I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. And not because I'm a librarian, but I like to research, which is very librarian-like trait. Can easily learn about things, you know. I'm out my window right now and it's just blah outside. It's like, I know how you feel. I got you, girl. I got you. I guess if my husband's still sick on Saturday, I'll go to church with my friend and maybe we can get tacos afterwards. Look, that was an invisible drill. Tomorrow I'm working from home. Today I made my to-do list. Things I need and want to get accomplished tomorrow for work. I am very much a planner and a lister, and I just get a lot of satisfaction out of being able to mark things off as being completed. Plus, you know, we have to account for our time when we work from home, so I have to list it anyway. I almost thought I had an invisible drill that time. Oh, last night when I was working on this, you see how there's some different pink shades here and here? Well, there are two pink shades that are like super similar in color. I'll see if I can move this over just enough to show you. Yeah, so see this section right here? There are two different shades of pink here, almost naked to your eye. Well, for some dumb reason, when I was done with one of the shades, instead of pouring it into its correct bottle, I poured it into the other one and mixed them. So then I had to spend a good amount of time sorting them. That was not fun. And I know I'm not the only one who's done that. But I don't know what I was thinking. I'm just chalking it up to another one of those. It's just been a blah 2 weeks. And that was just part of it. It's been almost 45 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up. And thank you for listening to me for almost 45 minutes. If you made it this long, you are amazing. You are the best. Make sure to leave me a like. Say hi in the comments if you want. Subscribe. Once I hit 50, I can go live. And even if this, by some weird miracle, you stuck around and you're like, man, you suck. This channel sucks. This video sucks. You know what? Go ahead and subscribe anyway. You can ignore my videos when they come up. You don't have to be notified, but it'll help. No, seriously. I hope nobody really thinks that. I'm sure some people will, but that's fine. I don't have to be for everyone. And not everyone is into watching diamond art. But for those who are, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe and comment. Bye.